Hello everybody, my name is RagingRaptor and I welcome you to a new World of Tanks preview video. Heute, yes. Welcome to World of Tanks previews with German speaking RagingRaptor. Fucking hell. Hello everybody, my name is RagingRaptor and I welcome you to a new World of Tanks preview. Today with 3 topics. One about 9.20 release date or estimated release. Tier 10 tanks get some buffs in the super test and American light tanks get a little bit changed. So the first things first, 9.20 is up and coming. The third iteration of the test server is up. Marks of excellence are gone in the grand battles, the same as in ranked battles, which is, well, a rather nice addition because, yes, if you got lucky, for example, and I think Sir Foch really put that out, or was it Zircon, I think, Zircon was it, excuse me, pointed it out really well that, well, when you had this 30 versus 30 battle mode, like there were twice as much HP in this game mode. And, well, what is Marks of Excellence about? Yes, doing as much damage as possible, as much spotting damage as possible, and as little team damage as possible. So, that is nice. They put it out to listen to us. Ooh, good job, Wargaming. You are finally, again, I'm pointing back at my video about is World of Tanks dead in 9.20. I think they're getting on the right track, a little bit slippery side, but it works. Anyway, estimated release date on the Russian server, it will be from the 28th to the 29th of August. And, well, from what we all know about already is, it will be a day later or so. Maybe 2 days, depends. Sometimes they just want to see how it's working on the Russian server and then they give us a hotfix if it's not working. Anywho, you have still roughly 10 to 12 days to grind your tier 10 forge, to grind your M48 pattern before it gets 40,000 experience more expensive, but the tier 9 tank gets a better turret armor. So you need to know, do you want to play a buff tank and grind more experience, or do you want to grind a tank which is now still good but not really that good? Well, yeah, you'll see. Definitely try to get the Forge 155 to get the free tier 10 tank. Next up, tier 10 light tanks buffs, or in general buffs. And I want to talk about, first I show you the stats and then I want to say what I really think about those changes, because they're not really that what I would have hoped for when it comes to tier 10 light tanks. The T100 light tank will get a better reload time by -6 seconds to 7.8 seconds and 5 shells more. By the way, for all those changes, almost all the tanks get 5 shells except for the WZ, which gets 4 shells more, and the 3105, which gets 3 shells more. Why 5? Anywho, well, T100 light tank won't, well, he will get some buffs for that, so it's not too shabby to get those better reload time. Better DPM is always nice, but 0.42 accuracy is not really the best thing to have. And, well, yeah, more DPM means that it's not that hard, or it's not that bad when shots miss, but yeah. Sheridan gets 390 damage instead of 360 plus 5 shells on the 105mm gun. No changes at all to the howitzer gun. And honestly, I do like this. It makes sense to me. A 105mm gun does in the game 390 damage and not 360. It's been always like this, even though Wargaming shows lately that they also are willing to play around a little bit with those damage values. But hey, it's a buff for the Sheridan, and I don't really think it's a bad call, because Sheridan, I think, it's not the worst tank, but many people use the 360, the 105mm gun, and it's not a bad gun at all. And I heard the Sheridan is one of the better tier 10 light tanks, even though, yeah, because it's a light tank. The WZ gets 4 shells more, skip that. 3105 gets, in my opinion, a rather good buff to its burst potential. Gets 90 damage more in his clip, because, yeah, from 360 to 390. That's nice. Even though I still think the 3105 will be just a worse bat shot, because the reload time, I think, is around 33 seconds, and, well, yeah, 3 shots of 39 damage, 390 damage is still 2 shots below of the Batchat. And lastly, the Reinmetal Panzerwagen. And this guy gets a special treatment. During movement and turning of the hull, you are 22% more accurate, something which I would wish happened to the Kanonjagdpanzer. It also gets more accurate when he uses his turret. He gets basically a free stabilizer, which is definitely great. It gets 1 second fast reload time, which would usually be a really great buff. And it gets an aim time decrease from 1.9 to 1.6 seconds, which is so good news. But what? They're taking away 40 damage of his shots. And what? Why? First of all, I'm not sure if the Reinmetal Panzerwagen does have a 100mm gun, 105mm gun, and instead of buffing it to the usual 390 damage, they're nerfing it to 320, which is a 100mm gun's damage. But now comes the biggest thing. Sure, he also gets 5 more shots. The problem is though, right now, this tank has a problem which is called DPM. Well, 10 seconds reload time of 360 damage is 6 shots per minute of 360 damage, 2160 damage per minute. Well, it's okay. When you think about the new AMX 30B has around 3600 as far as I remember, 3336. Yes. And now, well, what do? Now you have 9 seconds reload time, meaning 60 by 9 seconds means 6.66 shots per minute times 320, and you have around, well, 27 damage less per minute. So they are nerfing the DPM also a little bit, and I sincerely don't understand this move. They're nerfing everything from aim time, accuracy on the move and such, but they're nerfing the DPM and giving it less damage and making basically a cheapskate Object 140, even though an Object 140 is still so much better. Just doesn't have the fuel range, the speed, and the gun depression. But it has armor. It has better turret armor with 9.20. And well, it simply has amazing gun stabilization on the move. It has an amazing DPM. It has good gun penetration. It has 330, I think. This guy with gold has 280. Honestly, if Wargaming would decide to watch this video, I have to say, dear Wargaming, those are light tanks, and I would like if you would decide to give them camo breaking buffs, or like a factor which makes light tanks better for camo breaking. I shortly want to explain to you what camo breaking is. Camo breaking basically is, for example, you have a tank A, which is at 445 meters away from tank B. Okay, here's tank A, here's tank B. And tank A has exactly 445 meters of view range. And tank B is standing on an open field, has little to no camouflage at all. It has probably 1 camouflage point or so. But because he has 1 camouflage point, he won't get spotted. Which is logical, right? Because, well, he has camo and you are exactly on the point where your view range is. Now we take a potential tank like the FV215B, which has optics in 420 meters of base view range as far as I remember. For example, so view range skills, ratios, and bam, you have 500 meters view range. What happens now? Those 500 meters view range doesn't mean that you will spot everything which is 500 meters away. It means that you have 445 meters view range plus 55 meters worth of camo breaking. So when a tank is not being spotted by a tank which has 445 meters view range, he will be spotted by someone with 500 meters at the exact same position, because you have a worth of 55 meters of view range, camo breaking, excuse me. And this is why, for example, scouts are effective when they have huge amounts of view ranges. That's why you send them into positions where there are a lot of bushes, so they can break those bushes, because camo breaking breaks bushes and your tank's camouflage. I hope it was kind of understandable. And I personally would like that Wargaming introduces to us a factor, for example 0.2 or something, or 1.2. Let's be like 100 is the normal camouflage break value and 1.2 is the ones scouts get. So we have again our hypothetical tank A, hypothetical tank B, 445 meters away. Tank A has 445 meters fuel range, can't spot tank B. Now we have a scout with exactly 445 meters of fuel range, but he can spot tank B. Why? Because it has this little factor. And honestly, I would think this would be the way to go for wargame. But well, let's buff them a little bit, making them still not really useful. Anywho, there are some more changes to the American light tank tree. And the first and foremost, they want to split it. They don't want to have the T71, the lone dog, on the tier 8 tree. They want to give us the T71 CMCD, which is right now a tier 7 premium tank. That's why it still has the rather good penetration of 175 meters. But the tank you probably already saw on my channel, previewed it, and you already know the tank because it's the old T71 hull. Back in the days, the old T71 SD model, well, was this hull of the CMCD with the turret of the T71 DA, which they call it now. And this is what's going to happen. You don't have any link anymore, and every tank of the upper line from T37 to Sheridan will lose their autoloader if they have an autoloader. So you have on the lower side, you have the T71DA, the T69, the T54E1 and the T75 heavy tank, which are all autoloader tanks. So we get used to this playstyle. Honestly, I don't think it's a bad change. It's a good change. It gives us a new tank, obviously, and it has a little bit of logic behind it. And lastly, let's have a look at the T71 stats. Well, it still stays at tier 7, obviously, 840 hit points. Armor you don't really want to brag about, 65 degrees of turret traverse. That's a lot. I'm not even sure if this tank even has it. Turret traverse. Not even has, but not this tank traverse. Where's turret traverse? I can't find it right now, I'm blind, apparently. It should be under weaponry, shouldn't it? There we go, 40. So it's actually buffing the turret traverse rather a lot, while the hull traverse will be a little bit sluggisher with 46 degrees, still being a great value. 340 hit points on the engine, 20 HP to ton ratio, which is also excellent, 64 top speed, 25 backwards, 10 degrees gun depression, 20 degrees gun elevation. Those are again really great values. Sadly, the penetration gets nerfed to 145 from 175, right? 175, yes. But the heat shall stay at 210. Wargaming, please. What the hell? You nerfed the normal penetration for a rather lot, and the premium stays at 210. The fuck? The hook? The hell? 150 damage, 0.38 accuracy, 1.9 seconds aim time, 4.5 seconds reload time. So what is the DPM of that? We have 60 seconds times this and 150, exactly 2000. Well, that's a good enough DPM. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and have a nice weekend. Today is the Friday, so it's Friday! Woo! Have fun. Goodbye.